Hi, good morning everyone. Here is another sketchbook tour a la me. This sketchbook tour consists of a lot of reflections, particularly comparing this sketchbook to the one of focus in my first sketchbook tour, because it all kind of has to do with this period in my life where I was trying to motivate myself again and get back into a groove and rediscover myself. Within that, there's a lot of tarot readings, there's a lot of doodles and sketches, but there's also a lot of good comics in this one. Good to my standards in my context. It was a lot of writing and a lot of coping. If you're in a similar boat, or the narrative of like trying to rediscover your creativity or remotivate yourself to pursue that is something that you're interested in, that is something I delve into in this sketchbook tour, along with other things. So, why don't we get into it, shall we?
Sketchbook 2. Sketchbook 2. Yeah.
This would be the second sketchbook tour since my first one. And the date of this one starts January 25th, 2025, and goes until, well, I mean, I guess April 2025, because that's when the next one starts, but just yes, April. Thinking back to the first sketchbook tour, I had mentioned that there were a lot of things going on in my life at the time, like literally, but also emotionally and mentally, and that first sketchbook was my way of encouraging and motivating myself to draw more or do something, find myself again, while also being scared of what that is, because in finding myself it came with a lot of new experiences to come that were not arriving yet, and it was just a matter of time and a waiting game. So on the cover we have a bunch of stickers. So these 3 stickers are mine. This is a really old design from like 2018, 17. These are more recent. New sketchbook. First page. This was my way of, I guess, celebrating the fact that I started a new sketchbook by writing it out and manifesting it, I guess. This is the original sketch, which I really like, and then the outline. And here's the thing, again, I always love this sketch way more than the line work. I also have an envelope here. One of the things that I like to do is tape in a little envelope in case I have extra pieces of like tracing paper or sticky notes or things, bits and bobs that I want to keep safe in the book. We have a comic. Here, let's look at the sketch first, and then the line work. So this is called "Now That My Prefrontal Cortex Has Developed, I Am Now ... eating pasta. Previously refused to eat it. Growing hair out. Previously adamantly kept its skin bald," which obviously that didn't last very long. I mean, it's been many months since March, but I did not continue growing out my hair. Tidying a lot. Like a lot. Mentally ill, more than before. Oh, I forgot this was the title, How 25 is Going. Cause yeah, so 2025, my birthday is December 29th, so I had turned 25 a few months prior. And this was like the first few months of me being 25, and like, yeah, there were so many changes happening. I was like, this has to be because of my prefrontal cortex, right? Like, that is scientifically the only reason I could think of, like, jokingly. Some kind of doodle. I was trying to like graphicify some of my favorite motifs, and by graphicify I mean like turn into like graphic design type elements. So we have like a hand with the fountain pen, a little caricature of my face, jewelry, flowers, all that jazz. And then in the end, like graphicify, it still looks sketchy as fuck, but I will not judge myself for that. Aww, these are really cute. So these are caricatures of myself and Connor. The ones on the left he drew, and the ones on the right I drew. I just think they're super sick. I don't think there's not much else to say. There isn't much else to say. Connor made me look like an office guy, just the guy who goes to the water fountains like, so guys, how was your weekend? How what is the SpongeBob thing? Hey, how are ya? Lovely weather we're having, eh? I had gone to Ottawa with my mom and we went to the National Gallery or whatever. So I was just sketching some of the stuff that I saw. Well, there was this bag thing and I did not record the reference. There was this... Okay, I think we were looking through the textile exhibit and there were a lot of works by someone named Liz Collins. There was this really cool, like, bodice piece that was gray and then it had, like, red, thick, like, thready rope kind of around it. It was really cool. Maybe I'll insert picture here. Then I did a still life of, like, there was a mannequin sculpture thing with some kind of Coke fridge type thing. A little cartoon that's called compartmentalize. Quote unquote. Like, play on word compartmentalize. Just a visualization of it, I guess. So I showed this video to Connor just to get like fresh eyes on it, and he's like, "Oh, compartmentalize, like fucking duh, yeah." So I have to put this insert in to be like, I wasn't expecting to blow your minds with this one, guys. It was just a fucking doodle, okay? Okay, so here's like doodle comic things. When you put yourself out there, you need to be open to receiving silence as a response. It is oftentimes best not to over-explain yourself. I guess these are like, these were reminders to myself. Don't really remember what this was about. Okay, so there's like some notes here that say honor, courage, loyalty. I think it was to do with, I was playing like Nancy Drew, I think. And then otherwise just some sketches. Flowers based on the ones in Animal Crossing and other doodles. So we have the pansy, we have the hydrangea, we have like a thing of weeds, tulip, daisies, chrysanthemums, and then the coral and the shell. Okay, well here's an art-related diary entry. Art for beauty's sake is not art to me. I don't think I would ever assert this belief. Art is inherently political and offers viewers and artists alike to peek into a perspective different from their own. To appreciate art purely for its aesthetic qualities, I think undervalues any source of identity or commentary embedded within it. Art for beauty's sake is boring and ignorant. But that's just my opinion.
And that is just Mia's opinion.
Okay, sure, we can read up on this. So, Sincerity, February 19th, 2025, 10:54 p.m. Sincerity. Mina Lay expressed in her video Why is Social Media Not Fun Anymore? That our generation in relation to our relationship to social media has exacerbated a decline or lack of sincerity while a mass embracing of irony has taken its place. As she identified, though, this was a long time coming. People may think they are inherently sincere, but I believe it requires deep self-awareness and intentionality in order to truly be sincere and honest with oneself. In order to be honest and sincere with others, one must be honest and sincere with themselves. I wrote to Connor, I feel like humanity only exists as far as one is willing to discover. People may think they possess humanity, but I don't believe humans are inherently possessive of humanity either. It takes great intentionality within a world of cruelty to be humane. And that's just my opinion.
And that is just
Mia's opinion.
Anyway, let's not get too deep into it, but that was that. And then on the other hand, so we have the completion of that thought, and then on the other side we have things I look forward to every day. Oh, it's okay. Journal entries being anxious. Okay. Then we have this that says no use in worrying about it if you can't do anything about it. Ooh, cute. Okay. A lot of mental health coded stuff in this one. So this one says, I am eaten to the core, seeds and all, and it's just an apple massacred. And then we have another thing that says, you have convinced yourself of an unmaterialized reality. You are living in your head when you should be living in real life. Again, reminders to myself that I'm trying to, at the time, I was trying to get myself to remember. So King of Cups, and then a quote that I pulled from online said, when you are faced with challenges that normally throw you off balance, do not fly out into a rage or despair. And I underlined that because that's what happens a lot. And then it went on to say, approach love with logic and intuition, practicality, but also wisdom, compassion, and understanding. So from that I gleaned, remember who you are usually like this guy, King of Cups, with a level head and not in a rage of despair and know what you're doing. He is your baseline, be like him. I wanted to do a sketch of the devil card, but like from a different perspective. So this is based on the Devil Tarot card. And I sketched, I'm like, this is really cool, I really like this. So then, this is the line work, just to try and see where I could take it, but ultimately, I think, we'll see, I might do more with this. Like I said, I haven't seen the sketchbook in a while, so. Okay, this is kind of funny. So I drew this, and these were, I was drawing the shapes that were present in my carpet from IKEA, because it kind of looked like a couple faces, like profiles, like mirrored, and then obviously there's like flowers in it, but then it kind of looked like also a face in the middle, the crown or something. Just called a face in the carpet, but yeah, that's what that is. No, I was not high or anything. Holy shit, more tarot readings, oh my fucking god. There was a period where I really liked wide stances and baggy pants, but also like in that I wanted to make more dynamic poses, so I guess it's working. Bright as fucking light is what it says. Wow! Here are sketches of a concept of a character that I called Muscle Girl, I guess, just for now. I like the idea of the juxtaposition of like pigtails or hairstyles that are like typically associated with young, like a kid, but it's on an adult, and it's someone who's really muscular. I like that kind of, yeah, juxtaposed archetype. Before anyone wants to make that weird, I just want to further elaborate that it's the juxtaposition of having a juvenile hairstyle that is often associated with children and therefore innocence or like weakness in terms of like, you know, you're not as strong as an adult or whatever, especially not a bodybuilder. Having that juxtaposed with a bodybuilder who is also an adult, so like someone who is super tough like physically and like actually could like squish your brain into a million pieces, but otherwise purports themselves in this like hee hee ha ha kind of personality, cute personality. Oh, me, I could never like, you know, combust your head open with my fist kind of vibe, but she could. That is what I was going for. Ooh. Okay. And okay. We have a star entry here. This started a whole thing for me. I had this, I can't remember how I got this idea. I might have been on Tumblr seeing like artwork of knights and stuff. And I've been trying to, like, there was a period where I was thinking about drawing knights' helmets and I couldn't like, I just can't get the anatomy of it. But then I thought, oh, you know what'd be cool is if like a skull functioned like a helmet like that, like it could like close up and down. So I tried to draw it, and then I did this, and I'm like, this is cool, this is so cool.
Till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice.
With this concept, I went on to do a lino print of it. And I wanted to see if it could be translated in like a digital illustration. So and it's actually because I went back to some abandoned artworks on my iPad that I refound this sketch, and I was like, wait, March 30th, 2025, what the fuck sketchbook is that? And then I remembered that there existed one between, anyway. Okay, so I was at work, and I can't remember what prompted this. And then someone said, oh my god, it looks like riffraff. And then I'm like, haha, lol, riffraff, like the rapper. So then I drew it like this, and they're like, who's that? I meant like riffraff from Rocky Horror. And I'm like, duh. I thought like they meant riffraff the rapper because of these like ratty dreads, but they meant riffraff from Rocky Horror. But I was like same thing. I went on to sketch another kind of downward perspective of tarot cards. So this is Queen of Swords. Here's the line work. She's saying, I wasn't asking. Because the Queen of Swords is typically symbolic of importance of making judgments without relying on emotion alone, looking at all facts before making a decision. Queen of Swords has the ability to tell it like it is. Intimidating determination. So, she's like, ahem, I'm waiting. Are you gonna give it to me or what? Okay, let's see. How long is this entry? Okay, it's only one page. So, nobody is genuine anymore. I think part of it is also because people are afraid of being called out. So they have no backbone or anybody. Oh my fucking god. I think part of it is also because people are afraid of being called out. So they have no backbone or embody no opinions, or they take it so far and run full throttle with a shitty opinion as a coping/defense mechanism for their fragility. You can say what you've said and reflect on how it may have been wrong later. Then apply your learnings to more informed opinions in the future. But we are not computers. Sometimes we get carried away. We have no tolerance for minor, petty slip-ups anymore, but also have given up on trying. And that's my opinion.
And that is just
Mia's opinion.
I wrote this thing that says, many in the animal kingdom and other ecosystems in nature sort themselves out by feeding on and or hunting each other, which ultimately maintains the populations of different species in said ecosystems. Humans find ways to do the same thing. Oh, that's... Okay, so I wanted to try to execute some sort of concept that was like the chrysanthemum flower petals as clouds around the earth. It's kind of all over the place, but that's what that is. And then here we have a comic. This is a format that I like to do a lot, where it's like comparing all of my big three signs. Capricorn is my sun sign, Libra is my moon, Cancer is my rising. So me at the workplace. Capricorn. Heh. Everyone must follow my elaborate spreadsheets. Libra. Chaotic butthole jokes. Cancer. Do my colleagues think I'm insane with these spreadsheets? Am I making too many butthole jokes? Everybody hates me. In the end, the right people loved my butthole jokes. Okay, and that's it. This is like a much smaller sketchbook. So that went by a lot quicker, but very clearly I'm not doing well, or segment of that time. So yeah, that's that sketchbook tour. Thank you for watching. This one was definitely quite different from the first one, just because of the content of the sketchbook at hand. But I hope you enjoyed, and it's okay if you didn't. Just keep it to yourself. I still have like 3 sketchbooks to go that like I've completed this year, so it's very unlikely that I'll get to them before the end of this year. If you're somebody who's kind of been in the same boat or like are also in a creative slump, I'd love to hear what's on your mind, or maybe you have recently been in this slump and got out of it, and maybe you have like advice to share with other artists who may be watching this. Leave a comment. I feel like there's always some sort of cultural or social or economic thing that works against artists and them pursuing their creativity, including themselves. So if we can encourage us to get ourselves creative and do what we love, then I say that's a win. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you ever have any questions about my work or my process or whatever, feel free to also leave a comment about that. And until the next sketchbook entry, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you make something that makes you happy today. Or even if it doesn't, then that's also okay. Just make something. Alright, see ya.